Well, good evening, everybody. It's Tony here. I had one long day today. It started at 8 o'clock this morning. We got up, got ready to go, had to be in Peoria by 9:30. We went to Peoria, got lost looking for the radiation doctor. Well, we did finally find him. We were 3 minutes late, but then in the end, it was about a half hour before we were seen, which is fine. Dr. Evans is the best. This man explained everything plus more than we didn't even know. He explained that he had lymph nodes that were around the cancer site that were cancerous. So it had spread, but remember, he's got the non-small cell cancer. He also told us that this has probably been going on for 6 months or more. It just never came out until, because they happen to grow so slow. And the reason that he was so weak in the legs and everything is that it was the cancer that was draining his, strength out of him. I also found out he was high in calcium. I didn't know what that meant, but he said the cancer has drawn the calcium from his bones and redirected it to his other organs. It's crazy what cancer can do to you. They're planning a treatment for that. He also did tell him that tomorrow or Friday we go up to Peoria again. They're going to do another CT scan with dye, and then they're going to mark him where the radiation needs to be. So he's going to get little stickers on him with X's, I guess. He was so funny. He goes, "Do I even get little smiley faces?" And the Dr. Evans, he's like, "No." He goes, "They're just going to have a Sharpie X on it to where they can direct the radiation." So another trip to Peoria, and on Friday. On Thursday, I go into surgery. I don't know exactly what time. They haven't called me yet. They'll call me tomorrow and let me know what time my surgery is Thursday morning. After my surgery, then we go to his meeting with his chemo specialist and talk about the options there. Tom did ask the doctor, Dr. Evans, he said, "What if I just opted out of all of this and I didn't do anything? How long would I have to live?" And the doctor, which was kind of funny, but he's good. He's like, "Well, I don't have a crystal ball." He goes, "If you didn't do anything about this cancer now, you maybe had 2 years left to live." So that was something that, Tom was always thinking about. And so I'm glad that, he asked that question. Also, Dr. Evans says that it's like the chemo is not going to let his hair, he won't lose his hair. Very little side effects with this type of chemo that he's going to be using. Not Dr. Evans, but the other doctor. And so he seems to think that this chemo that they're going to do is going to actually, how usually chemo goes into you and it poisons your body and starts taking away, like, your white cells, blood count. Well, this chemo is going with the red cells, and it's going to attack the white cells, which is the cancer. So this chemo is going to be fighting more, I guess you want to say that. I don't know. Sometimes some of this discussion, it's like I said, it's been a long day. We were there at 9:30 in the morning, and we didn't get out of there until like 1. And he took all the time in the world with us. He explained everything to us. And we really did get a lot of information from Dr. Evans. He's a very, very good person. So I would recommend him. He's very personable, really down to earth. And so Anyway, after that, then we headed down to IMC, and that's the place where we go, where Catherine is. And Catherine got all the papers for power of attorney, got them all filled out, had to ask a lot of questions to Tom, as far as what he wants, like, you know, like, at the end of that, you know, when it comes to, you know, that's what a power of attorney is, as far as, like, at the end of time, if it ever shall come, what his wishes are. I mean, does he want to be prolonged? Does he want to be in a coma forever? It's just a lot of questions that they asked you. This is my first time being a power of attorney, and I understand. My brother was my power of attorney over my mom. It's a hard job. It's really, really a hard job, because a lot of people are, you know, are like, what are you going to do? You know, and so I know all of his wishes that he wants. And so now I'm his power of attorney, which is, I don't know if it's a blessing or what, but I think I can handle it. At the time when my mom was dying, I don't think I could have handled it. And I was so glad that my brother was power of attorney. But I'm going to be there for Tom. I know what he wants. I know his wishes. So it's kind of made my job a lot easier. I used to have a power of attorney. My power of attorney was my husband, but now he's gone. So I don't have a power of attorney. So I need to find a power of attorney for me. Well, that'll come in time. And it's basically, this is the power of attorney for, like, his health. It's not for his estate or his personal. It's just for his health for Tom. We didn't get out of this other place, you know, to sign papers and everything until about 2:30. So we had been gone all day and not had anything to eat. I was ready. I was hungry. I'm always hungry. So we stopped in Pekin and got a bite to eat. It was good. It was nice to sit back, relax, eat something before we came home. I didn't cook tonight. I was just too tired. Came home, picked up my dog from Mickey's. Thank you, Mickey, so much for watching Willow today. I picked Willow up, came home, took an hour nap because I was exhausted. The nap helped. I'm still tired, didn't want to get up, but I knew I had to get up because otherwise I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. Now, tomorrow I have a laid-back day, and I told you on Thursday, the surgery, the meeting, Friday, back to Peoria for radiation, not radiation, but for the CAT scan, and with the dye, so he can get marked. And then back home. On Friday, the appointment's not until 3:30, which is kind of good because that gives me a little time to recuperate from my surgery on Thursday. I still won't be able to drive or anything like that with my arm. But the CAT scan he's having with the dye, it doesn't make him sick or anything, so he'll be able to drive okay with that. So, they said that if everything goes okay and he gets his markings and we get to talk to the chemo doctor on Thursday and gets the thing of it is they want to get everything in place. They want to get everything set up and in place. So sometime next week, maybe in the middle of the week, they might start his chemo and his radiation. Now, we found out today that I thought it was going to be 7 weeks, and it's not. It's 6.5 weeks. I don't know what 3 days is going to make in a difference, but I guess they thought that it's only 6.5. So they might start next Wednesday as far as doing the chemo, doing the radiation. Now, the radiation going to Pekin is only going to take about 15 minutes and then back home again. The chemo is going to start, and by the time we get done, it's going to be half of the day. So the day that he has a chemo, he's also having the radiation. It's going to be a long day. And so we might not get out of there. All depends what time we get there. We might not get out of there until 3 or 4 o'clock at night. So it's going to be a long, long day. But like the chemo, he's having that 5 days a week. And, or not the chemo, the radiation. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm still trying to get things straightened out. So yeah, the chemo once a week, radiation 5 days a week. So the radiation, like I said, only takes about 15 minutes. And then he's done for the day and go home. So I'm glad that we're able to have it in Pekin, which is a little bit closer. And it's not as crazy as Peoria. Peoria is crazy. So, I think that's all that, you know, on day 7 here, that's about all I can come up with until I learn more later on this week. So, with that, I'm going to say good night, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night.